Hello and welcome to all of our Gold viewers who are here with us today. I'm Kristen Schwartz, licensed midwife and one of the MCs here at Gold. And I'm here today with Allison Tolman to talk about her upcoming presentation for the GOLD Lactation Online Conference. Welcome, Allison.
I'm happy to be here. I'm really excited to be able to talk to people very soon at the Gold Conference. It's going to be fun.
Very soon. That's right. We're getting
Yeah.
started on April 3rd with our opening keynote presentation. You have a super cool topic. You will talk about understanding breast pumps, the science versus the practical. But before we want to jump into there, I want our viewers to have a chance to find out a little bit about you. First of all, where in the world are you, Allison?
We're currently located in Virginia. My husband's in the military, so we do move around a lot, but we're over on the East Coast for now.
Yes, and your husband is in the military. You mentioned you are close to a port or something very close, because you sometimes say we can hear the planes flying.
There is an air base right there. In fact, they're flying today, so but it's usually not too big of a deal. But it is annoying when I'm filming or presenting.
When you're filming or presenting, right? So let's talk about also the wonderful work you're doing and your background. Of course, you're a specialist in breast pump, but tell us about your background and how that all came about, that you are fascinated with breast pumps, and you even have your YouTube channel about it as well. So talk a little bit about all that good stuff.
Yeah, I think my story is similar to a lot of people that go into the field of lactation, in that it started from a difficult time that I had to go through, as a first-time mom, having to go back to work with very strong breastfeeding goals. Pumping was hard, and it was a whole new skill that really there was no help for me to be able to do. So, I mean, I started my career as a nurse in OB, so I've always been in OB and lactation, and that's always been my love. But I think, when you go through something difficult and in the end kind of figure it out, you're inclined to share that with other mothers. Like, I'm not the only working mother out there, right? There's a lot.
Right.
And so, when I was able to finally get certified as an IBCLC when we lived over in Europe, I had also started a YouTube channel prior to that, and found that people responded really well to me exploring breast pumps in kind of a more objective way. Like, I didn't always use them all the time. I wasn't like an exclusive pumper or had all of this first hands-on experience, but the technical part and the scientific aspect, people seem to really latch on to that. So as soon as I decided to start, a private practice as an IBCLC when we moved back to the States, it was very natural for me to look for and help those moms who were trying to combine breastfeeding and pumping. I worked with an engineer to help develop a device so that we could test breast pumps a little bit more objectively, because we just don't have the research on pumping that we need to really help the people that we're trying to help.
Right. That's so exciting. I know you came up with this fascinating device, and you're testing all these different pumps now. And what are you looking for when you're testing? Tell us about that.
So basically so here's this little device that we created. My audience named it the Booby Barometer, which I thought was a cute little name.
Yeah, it
has a technical name, but we never use that one. And what this is measuring is it's measuring the suction levels, both the max suction and also the pattern of what it's doing. So, and then it will also tell us the cycle speeds and average suction, a bunch of other data points like that. So then we can compile a graph of all of the levels on one breast pump. So a breast pump, say, has 12 suction levels. We can test all of them and look at what they're doing. And surprisingly, breast pumps do a lot of different things. There's a huge variety, and pumps are so different to each other. Even pumps within the same brand can sometimes function differently. And so what we're really doing is just collecting all the data that we can. And then we're still trying to figure out, which pieces of these data are relevant and how does this apply to what users are doing. So as a professional, I'm deep in this data, but I'm also trying to pick out what are the most important parts for mothers and for lactation professionals that's really going to help us move pumping forward. Right?
Yeah, and I bet many people don't even know about this. Yeah, many people have heard about the what we call, how would you describe it, the hospital grade pumps, or the pumps that you could buy at the store, or somewhere, or like the hand pumps. But probably the idea is, a hospital grade pump maybe is stronger than what a hand pump. but really that there is so much more to it, what the different pumps do. Most people are probably completely unaware, unless you really, as an expert or a lactation professional, work with pumps and have a more in-depth view of this, right?
Yeah, and we really are at the mercy of what the breast pump companies are telling us, kind of what they want us to know. So
Yeah.
you'll notice when you look through marketing of different pumps that sometimes companies will give you lots of information on the pump and sometimes they'll give you not as much. But what are you trying to hide something, or do you just not have it? And these are the, hospital grade pumps, pumps that are used in hospitals are not inherently stronger than other pumps. So what actually makes them different? And that's the kind of thing that we're going to be talking about as we really try to understand breast pumps in the core. So my presentation is not going to be, here's these pumps and here's the specs that we can read off of the website. We're really going to try and understand the fundamental aspects of a breast pump in general, with the idea that you can go forward and take that knowledge and use it in your own practice and in these individual situations that you're going to be presented with.
Right. And that sounds great because it's actually something we can take into practice and really then apply. And Allison, I can only imagine, I mean, it feels like there's coming more and more pumps are being produced and on the market every year, right? I mean, it's also hard to keep up with all that for lactation professionals. What's new? Because mothers or parents see something on Instagram, or an influencer uses some. What's going on there. So you probably get a lot of questions about differences in pumps and which one is right for me, and this and that. And so how do you keep up to date with everything that's going on there for you?
Well, for me, it's a little bit easier because this is my full-time focus, is the world of breast pumping. But my heart really goes out to lactation professionals who are dealing mostly with complex breastfeeding issues, but they're also getting bombarded with an array of breast pump questions because almost every mom is pumping at some point. Like that's just the reality of the world that we live in. And so my heart really feels for you because you can't realistically keep up on this market and continue to give high quality in-depth breastfeeding care. I understand that. So one of my goals is to help professionals, do this for them. Instead of you having to go and find all of this information about every pump, creating a hub of resources where you can just share with your clients information about their pump or can easily cross-reference data between pumps. I can do most of the legwork because this is my passion, and then give you the broken down version, like what's the down and dirty stuff that you need in your practice to be able to help, serve your clients. And me and another breast pump colleague are creating a program and some courses to help with this. I realize there's just not enough information for professionals. So we're working on it.
You're working on it. So please let us know when that becomes available, because that might be very interesting for our viewers as well, because, they get a lot of questions about breast pumps. Also, now we have an international audience, and that might be difficult for you to get your hands on all the different pumps, of course, that are out there in the world. But what can you tell our audience abroad, outside the United States, for example? What can you tell them with regards to breast pumps?
Yeah, I think it all comes back to the fact that we're not talking about specific pumps or specific companies and what they do well. We're really seeking to understand the breast pump in general. So if you are part of the international audience, now I'm located in the US currently, but I recently spent 3 years living in Belgium, and the European market is different. They market to mothers differently. Those mothers are using pumps in a little bit different way, and they have different pumps on their market. So I became familiar with my eyes were open with how wide this is, broad. I feel like we hear about it so much in the US because a lot of insurance companies in the US are covering pumps for mothers, but there's a lot of pumps out there. And realistically, I can't get my hands on every one of them and spoon feed the information to professionals, but I can teach you how to understand what the pump is doing. And even if you don't have fancy equipment like mine, let's figure out how you can look and listen and feel for yourself and understand what this brand new pump you're presented with is doing so that you can relay that information to the mother that you're trying to help.
Well, Allison, it sounds absolutely wonderful. I can't wait for your presentation and learning from you here about all the differences and the breast pumps and what to look out for, and how we could utilize that and take that into practice and for our families there. Thank you so much for sitting down here with me today and talking about your background, your fascination with breast pumps, and of course, the presentation here for the Lactation Conference.
It's going to be great. I can't wait to meet all of you. And we have a couple of my sessions should be pretty interactive. So we'll have some polls. I want to hear
Yes.
what things you're running into. There's a Q&A after. I'm really looking forward to seeing what questions you have to just better help me serve you so you can serve the mothers that you work with.
Great. And now some information for our viewers. We get started here at the GOLD Lactation Online Conference. It's just around the corner. April 3rd is our opening keynote presentation that is open access. So please make sure you sign up for that and share that with your friends and colleagues in the field. And if you want to find out more about the presentation on understanding breast pumps here with Allison Tolman and all the other presentations in the conference, we invite you to visit goldlactation.com for more information. Thank you everyone for watching, and thank you again, Allison, and bye everyone.
Speak soon.